You will do yourself a lot of good the day you stop to inherit broken advice. About 4 years ago, I visited the mother of one of my friends. We were sitting in our living room watching an Hollywood movie, and it was one of those dramatic scenes where a husband betrays his wife. And before I knew it, the movie turned into a lesson section for us in the sitting room. She started advising us, me and our daughter, about men. She said men are wicked, that we should never trust them, and that when we marry, we should never let our husband know everything that we own. She made an example that if we make 1 million naira, we should tell our husband we were making 100k, so that we can save ourselves a future trouble. Now, I knew she meant well. I could tell she was trying to protect us, but as a discerning person, I also sensed something deeper. She was speaking from a place of hurt, and I understood why. Because at that time, I knew she had been married 3 times, and none of those marriages succeeded. So I glanced at my friend and saw how she was nodding in total agreement to what her mom was saying, swallowing everything. But something inside of me pushed me to ask one question. Are these the same principles you applied in your marriage? She immediately said yes. I asked the second question. Did it work? And silence was the answer I got. She didn't expect that question. The truth is, if those strategies failed 3 times, why would they suddenly become wisdom for us? And yet, she was passing that same mindset to her daughter and myself, unknowingly preparing us for the same cycle of failure she has gone through. And that right there is the tragedy of our generation. We are inheriting broken philosophies from people who never healed. We are absorbing dysfunctional wisdom packed as life lesson. And if you don't learn to filter voices, you will repeat the exact same mistakes they made. This generation has given a microphone to everyone with an internet connection. And the dangerous part of that is that people listen to anyone loud enough, even if they are broken. Everywhere you look, there are men with no stable marriages, no healthy relationships, no self-awareness, giving millions of other men advice on how to deal with women. I saw a video recently of a popular man advising men ever to open a business for their wives. And if they do, it must be registered in their own names. He also said that men should control their account, limit the access of the wife, and make sure that the woman is financially dependent on them so she would never have the option to leave. I read the comment, hundreds of thousands of likes, thousands of reposts, and I shook my head. How do you take marriage advice from a man who has never built a healthy marriage himself? How do you allow a broken person who did not even have a worthy marriage example? How do you take a marriage advice from someone who never even came from a good home? How do you allow a broken person to become your blueprint for life and marriage? And it's not just men. On the other side, we have women who have been deeply hurt, women with unhealed wounds and bitterness, who now position themselves as relationship experts on social media. Their entire brand is built on teaching women to distrust, to manipulate, and always have a backup plan. Yoruba people have a saying, before you let someone clothe you, you need to first of all examine the one they are wearing by themselves. So if someone has failed repeatedly, if their own life is in chaos, if they have no fruit to show for what they preach, why are you making their voice your compass? Here is the bitter truth. Some of you are walking into marriage ready for war before the battle even begins. You are already preparing strategies to hide money, punish your spouse, to withhold affection, to control or dominate, all based on the advice of broken and wounded people. You are guarding your heart, not out of wisdom, but out of fear. And guess what? Fearful people build fearful homes. Dysfunctional people create dysfunctional marriages. And until you break the cycle, you will inherit the very pain you were trying to avoid. A wounded person cannot guide you into wholeness. A bitter man cannot teach you how to love. A broken woman cannot show you how to heal. A failed marriage cannot define your blueprint for success. It is a responsibility to filter voices, to test all spirits, to look beyond the words being spoken and discern the pain behind them. You need to stop swallowing every life lesson. Stop letting social media teach you dysfunction disguised as wisdom. Stop inheriting broken philosophies just because they sound deep or because they are coming from someone with large followers. Here is the truth. Pain you don't heal from will become the pain you pass down. And if you don't rise above it, your children will inherit your battles, not your blessings. If you got value from this, make sure you share this to every single person who needs to hear this.